The gift of discernment is such a gracious gift for God. But just like everything that God has given us, we misuse it. And that is called a sin. Misusing all the gracious gifts, the power, the graces that God has given us, to misuse them for our own selfish need, for our own selfish greed, so that somehow we can benefit from them. That's called a sin. But discernment for us is that God graciously gives us his Spirit. And he invites us to have the spirit of discernment and a discerning heart so that we can discern God's will in our life. What is God willing from me? What does God want from me? Where is God leading me? Am I following? Am I cooperating with his grace? If the Lord says that I have a choice, and whatever choice I make, he will honor, because he has given us free will. That is God's love. Love demands freedom. And God has freely created us and freely loved us. And love demands freedom. And that is God's will. But God only wills the good for you. God does not will misery. He did not create illness. He did not create death. He did not create anger. Those things don't come from God. They come from the enemy, a misuse of God's power. God wills only the best for us. If you think that somehow God is punishing you, that you're the only one in the world that is miserable, that somehow there's a gray cloud, a black cloud, and nothing goes your way, then the Lord is inviting us to consider, who are you following? Whose voice is leading you? The spirit of discernment is for us to want to enter prayerfully into a discussion with God and to be able to honor the movements within our hearts and how God is leading us. But also, as we hear, there's a good spirit and there's an evil spirit. We cannot discern evil. We cannot choose to be sinful. You can't discern to do bad or harm to another. That is not the spirit of discernment. The spirit of discernment for us says, I want to hear your voice because I want to follow your lead, because you only will the good from me. I need to hear your voice and I need to follow you. So I need to discern, are these movements, these voices, these thoughts, are they coming from you? And where are they leading me? Because if the choice is life or death, whether it's good or evil, whether it's a blessing or a curse, then I need to know what voice is moving me. What voice is encouraging me? Am I being inspired or am I being tempted? If I'm being tempted, then I'm being led away from God, further away from God, and more into misery, depression, isolation. I'm just being alone. But if God is inspiring me, if he's inspiring you, it doesn't matter the trial, the tribulation, it doesn't matter, because God is with you. And you know you're going to get through anything because God is all you need. He is your power. He is your glory. He is your healing. He is the answer to any problem you've ever had. God is the remedy. He's the choice. He's the only choice. The choice is either you choose God or you don't. But whenever you choose something else other than God, you're actually rejecting God. And you can't be in the middle of the way. You can't say, yes, I want to do my will, but somehow I want a different result. Like, Lord, I don't want to do your will, but I want you to act like I did. So I don't want the consequence of my sin, but yet I want to choose to sin anyway. God says, no, you make the choice, you choose the consequence. I will honor it because I love you, because I freely give myself to you. If that's what you choose, that's not my choice, God says. He says, choose life, choose me, choose the blessing, choose the good. That's the choice. God is clear in the choice. Today, he says, who in the world gave you license to sin? Did you hear that? Like, who in the world gave you permission to sin? And go ahead and say your parents. And I'll say, well, who gave them permission? And you're going to say their parents, my grandparents. And ultimately, we're going to come back to our first parents, Adam and Eve. God never gave them permission to sin. He said, I forbid you to have that forbidden fruit. You can take place and you can enjoy everything. I've created it all for you. But when it comes to disobedience, when it comes to a misuse of my power, when it comes to selfishness and greed, no, I don't choose that for you. I only choose the good. As we prepare for this great and holy season of Lent, that's the mindset that God gives us. Who told you to sin? Did that come from the good spirit? Or did that come from the bad spirit? And remember, we get to choose the voice. We get to choose the movements. We get to choose the direction. But there's only two. You're either going to move to God and you're going to move away from him. As we enter this Lenten season, let us not get further away from God. Let's draw closer to him. God is the remedy. He's the healer. He's the shepherd of souls. He loves us. He only wants the good for us. And all we have to do is not want to sin.